What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just finished filming the video you were about to watch, and I had to film a new intro because when I first got out here, there wasn't a real purpose. I was just trying some discs in my bag, gonna see what was sticking around, and really just kind of yapping. So if you're wondering why it takes to hole 6 to get to the actual point of the video, it just kind of happened naturally. So I'll mark in the chapter markers if you just want to watch the whole 9-speed versus 13-speed thing. I'll mark that in the chapter markers so you can skip straight there. If you want to watch the lead up and how we got to that line of thinking, watch the front 5 holes. Still a good time, but I did want to warn you guys, it takes a little bit to get to the video because it just kind of happened. So thank you guys for watching. See y'all in this video right now. Broad reach around. Yeah, that thing's pretty stable. I didn't really flex it out of my hand like I wanted to. Not a good shot for the hole, but it's stable. Maybe it's just a completely Corey torque. That was kind of nice. Still bad. What's up, guys? Welcome to another video where if you ask me what the point is of this video, what the goal I'm trying to accomplish is, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just out here on lunch, throwing some frisbees, not to be confused with the very popular disc golf series on YouTube, Lunch Break. This is not that. I'm just on my lunch break throwing frisbees. Just a little short. The main issue with the world right now is it's in the bag filming season. It's the end of the year. I need to say, like, here's what I was throwing in 2024. Problem is I don't fucking know, man. My bag has just been in constant flux this year with new stuff coming out. So I don't really know. I don't know what's in my bag. I know my bag is now the Atlas Pioneer V4 because I love this thing. But outside of that, there's been a lot of change. I can't think of a single slot other than Tombs in my Nexus this year that hasn't changed at some point. And I'm not really sold completely on anything. So we're just testing stuff out still. We're in the testing phase. So we're out here playing the longs. It's certified cold outside for me. We got the hoodie jacket combo. If I have to wear anything more than this, I would probably just not be outside. I'm not gonna lie. I also think the Pharaohs, pretty safe to say the Pharaohs are staples right now. The I-blend has always been my max distance. And this Halo is such a good stability. Oh, just into the ground, man. Oh, what a skip. Let me try to force over on this Broderick reach around. I think I might be going to this instead of my beat and yeet for my more stable guy, the 176 broad around. Okay, it's maybe not as stable as I thought. Sorry, Broad. Definitely just the Conqueror that I need to put in that spot, and I've been trying to fight it too hard, but the Conqueror is just what I need as my super overstable guy. One thing I did not expect to like as much as I have is this I-blend tomb. I was hoping to beat this up to be just a more premium flippy tomb, but it's kind of just a slightly more stable tomb in general. And the softer plastic, especially right now when it's super cold, is very helpful. Let me try to just rip this down the middle with a little headwind. Yeah, that's why I want it to fly like all the time and not like into a ripping headwind right when I threw that. That being said, there's definitely nothing wrong with a slightly more stable tomb option. I didn't think the I-blend would be it. I really hadn't heard a lot about how I-blends flew in general. Very short when it's ripping headwind. That's just kind of headwind, me being cold, and also the underlying issue that we're dancing around is that I'm bad. This also would be a perfect time in the cold to be putting with my whiteout all-weather blend Marvel that I had been loving, but I lost it. I don't want to know if this has happened to anybody else. It literally, I just went to putt on a hole and it was not in my bag. I walked the course back twice. I could not find this thing anywhere. I've never experienced anything like that. That thing was X-Files, just absolutely gone. Little I-blend tomb, straight at this thing. I mean, Anheuser out of my hand, but it's stable, so it's flexy. Threw it 100 feet. I'm gonna see if I throw this raw hard, how straight I can get it to fly. Oh, she's a beaut. Oh, she's a beaut. I'm really landing on the raw is just the mid. I think the raw is the mid for me right now. I love that feel. And honestly, deep in the lore, if you really want to be an Ursa DG fan in general, big reason I first got into Infinite when I did is I'm a big Smite player. Smite, the MOBA, based around mythology, gods, goddesses, and all sorts of cultures. The names of the Infinite Discs really just kind of drew me into it. My brother first introduced me. So introduced me to Smite and Infinite Discs. So shout out to my brother. I'm also having genuine psychopathic thoughts of wanting to just putt with this Eibelin Tomb. I throw it in as a second putter a lot, and the thing just goes in the basket. I don't get it. I'm wearing Corey's hat. I'm throwing Corey's disc. It has to go in the basket. That's a law. I don't really throw this a lot on backhand. I'm kind of excited to see what this does. Oh, I slipped. Pretty straight. Hit a tree. That, I almost died right then. Throw a Halo Dynasty for fun. Maybe not fall off the tee pad. Gosh, I genuinely think that might be one of the best discs ever made. So 2 trends you'll notice in my bag right now. One, I've started to carry a lot less discs. I think some of our challenge rounds really opened my eyes to just not having so much decision fatigue is extremely helpful for me personally. And then 2, I've really shied away from like the very overstable or the very understable. I'm trying to keep things a lot more in the neutral camp. 2 reasons for that for me. One, I really would like to get my release more back to kind of a standard flat release. Over the past few years, it's worked more into a steeper hyzer because I was carrying flippier discs. I also finally have a forehand now. So like you'll notice the torque is my overstable fairway driver. It's really not that overstable for that slot, but I can work it on so many angles, forehand and backhand. I really enjoy having more discs that can do more things with more release angles than just really specifying each disc down. I'm also old, and when I carry a lot of discs, my bag's heavy, and when my bag's heavy, my back hurts. That's another it's funny, but a very real answer for why I've carried less discs. But having less discs overall that can both work really well on forehand and backhand for me is the goal. Right now I'm carrying, I think, only 16 discs. I'm down to 1 putter as well. I'm a 1 putter guy. So yeah, things are changing. I'm going to test Corey's theory right here. I'm going to throw my Dynasty I'd normally throw in this hole. It's 412 downhill. Then I'm going to throw my Pharaoh, and I'm going to see how much more distance I get out of this. I'm actually genuinely curious. I'm going to go Dynasty. That's a beautiful flight right there. Okay, that's probably like 20-ish short, so what, 390-ish downhill? Not a bad shot for me, especially all bundled up in the cold. Try to have the same kind of shape with the Pharaoh. Yeah. A little more stable, but I mean, it's a 13 speed. That genuinely might be shorter. I really don't want to say Corey was right while I'm wearing his hat. Well, we'll go see. All right, here are the results. Dynasty, not quite as far as I thought it was originally. This is about, what, 45, 50 short probably. Still a birdie. That was sick. And here is the Pharaoh. Like I said, pretty well left of the Dynasty's line, but depth-wise to the pin, this is 35-ish, I would say. Right at edge of the circle. No, I was just bragging about how good that Tomb was a putter. Oh, so I don't know. You tell me. There definitely was a little bit of headwind creeping up towards the end of that Pharaoh's flight, but you know, all in all, pretty apples to apples. So is it worth the difference in 9 to 13 speed rim size to get 30, 40 feet more distance? I don't know. Probably just need to work on getting the nose further down, but that would require me to practice. Try the same experiment here on hole 8. This is 375 into a little bit of wind. I'm gonna go for the Halo Dynasty for a bit more pushing hyzer, let it out wide, and then try the same thing with the Broderick Reach. I'm really trying to test how overstable this really is, see if I can't slot it in as my overstable driver. Initial results were maybe not, but we'll keep trying. Just nice, flat, pushy hyzer. Man, I love that disc. That is definitely short. That was kind of low, not put on a line where it was a distance line, just kind of pushy hyzer. So we'll see if the reach. I do think this is a kind of shot where the extra speed of the disc will really contribute to more distance, but I could just be yapping. I could be completely wrong. I really like the feel of this though. This feels really nice. Definitely turn some. Okay, so that is not my overstable slot. I'll tell you that much. So that was just like dead straight, but it does look pin high. So I do think it got more distance. All right, the Dynasty is here roughly what, probably 50, 60 short, and the Broderick Reach is pin high over there. But again, that one had a lot more flip up, definitely more of a flight difference. Somebody sponsor me. What is happening? And here, just so you know, I'm not lying, is Broderick up here, pin high, well to the right. I do think that, again, the shot shape was different. There's something to be said that this flipped up and got a pretty full flight, whereas the Dynasty is just a stability where that was full, pushing hyzer the whole way. So that's what we're going to turn this video into. The next two holes, we're just going to go 9-speed, 12, 13-speed, and rip off Corey's idea. So go watch that one before you finish this video if you haven't. And to be clear on which side of the fence I was on originally when Corey made that video, I think throwing 13 speeds is fucking sick. Like, there's something so special about just a super wide rim driver that between this release angle and another 2 degrees of not hyzer, it's doing a completely different thing. It's a beautiful thing. So 9, par 4, 356, a little uphill. Dynasty is usually all I need here, and we're going to go big guns here. We've got a little bit of a tailwind. Dynasty's getting pretty flippy. I've got my flippy bomber, Iblend Faro, my farthest flyer. Let's see if we can get this to go OB long. That's the goal. Slight grip lock, but really good angle out of that. Again, flip up, pushing hyzer. That looks a little short of pin high. Let's try the Iblend Faro. This thing, very domey. Absolute, anything you want to say is like a bomber disc, this is your, what is it, quintessential, that's the word I'm looking for, quintessential bomber disc right here. Again, right to left tail, stay in the air, stay up, finish. I think we did go OB long. Maybe not the fairest comparison of like my farthest flying disc and a star. You know what, forget that narrative. That's a 13 speed. That's super fair comparison. All right, so the plot does indeed thicken. The Dynasty definitely had more hyzer, really just kind of a stability difference of a very understable Faro and kind of my stock straight to slightly understable Dynasty. But the Dynasty was parked, so right at whatever distance the hole is, whatever that actually plays. And then another, what is this? I'm gonna give it 60 to 70 farther is the Faro. We've got one more pretty much wide open distance hole that will hopefully we can reach a conclusion for. And again, this is very, very heavily basically stolen from a video that completely Corey has already made. If you haven't watched that, you haven't subbed to him, he's my bud, go sub. He's a good guy sometimes. Kind of pushing hyzer around this Mando as soon as this police truck moves out of the way and hopefully does not arrest me. So Jerry's still out on that. We'll see. All right, slight change of plans here. We've got a fieldwork session as well as an episode of Cops happening in the fairway of the hole I was about to play. So we are going to throw from 11's pin to 12's tee pad. Pretty good little pump, and this is going to be the Dynasty versus Faro challenge. These are my 9 speeds that also go pretty far. Love these things. These are my 13 speeds that go slightly farther and are more unpredictable. So we're going to see, is the unpredictability and distance of this more advantageous than just throwing a 9-speed all the time. Really, the other concern I have is if I take high-speed drivers out of my bag, I don't think I'd have enough disc to actually stay in my bag. I'd have to get like a nut sack or something. But we'll go understable first, pushy guys next. Comment down below who's going to win. Let me know. That came out so early. It came out so early, fellas. It came out so early. Turns out smaller rim doesn't eliminate me being terrible at the game. Oh, that's a good release. Oh, that's far. That's really far. Okay, score 1 for my opinion, I guess. Pushy guys next. Halo Dynasty. Pushed over on that guy completely on accident. I hope that's still in frame of the camera, but that's also pretty far. Luckily, we do have this basket to shoot to. And then just the tried and true, Halo Faro. Oh, I put on a little too much hyzer for the wind, but I mean, that's still a pretty stock, like pushy hyzer shot. So let's go range find some stuff and then maybe throw that Dynasty one more time. I just said that about my bag and I slung it around my shoulder and all my discs fell out. Incredible. All right, so we just range found those. The Halo Dynasty went about 375. The Halo Pharaoh went 360. Again, pretty bad release for me on that one. And the Island Pharaoh went right around 425. So decent pump for me. Would expect a little bit more in a tailwind, but you know, bundled up in the cold again. So really, I think my personal conclusion is the distance potential is high enough to introduce the variability that a higher speed rim introduces. Again, a lot of variables there. Obviously, hand size plays into that. Is that rim even comfortable for you? And then just accepting that things can go much further wrong with the potential of more distance and your release angles and how touchy those discs are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I'll be keeping 13 speeds in my bag. Again, I just think they're very fun to throw. It's just, you know, it's a good time. And I play disc golf for fun. I'm not competitive. I don't play tournaments. I just film shit on YouTube and yap like a fucking idiot for way too long. With that, we're going to throw this in the basket and get out of here. It's like 40 short. I didn't really throw it hard, but like the headwind is headwinding, man. Holy. Well, at least we found a purpose for this video. So that's sick. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. All right, one, I got to make this putt with this tomb to redeem it. And then two, I actually have to film a new intro explaining why the point of the video happens on like hole 6. Oh my God.